Why does it matter, Michael, so much that Kimmel, as a comedian, had this throwaway line based on a premise that turned out to be false? Why is that? I mean, people can see. Why does that get you so fired up? Why is that, among all of the tasteless jokes that have been made by comedians about what happened to Charlie and the shooter and all of that, why is this one so sticky for the right?
Well, call me old-fashioned. I think lies are bad. My issue is not with his weak jokes. He's made plenty of those. It's specifically with the lie. It's really with the
Mm-hmm.
setup to the joke rather than the
Mm-hmm.
punchline. Because I guess this gets down to a really basic philosophical observation, which is that speech is for something. Speech is for conveying the truth. Speech in a republic such as ours is for deliberating and informing and, yes, entertaining and coming to conclusions about the world and governing ourselves. That's the point of it. That's why we have a First Amendment.
That
That's
is the
also why
single most misunderstood. Your book touched on this very well. That is the single most misunderstood part of the First Amendment, is where it was rooted in for the founders.
yes, exactly. And so as a consequence of that, that means that there are exceptions to speech protection in the First Amendment, not because, I don't know, the founders and framers didn't want to go far enough, but when the framers exclude things like fraud or direct threats or obscenity even from First
Mm-hmm.
Amendment protections, they are doing so not to restrict the scope of the public square, but actually to support it. Because if you allow direct threats, for instance, into public square, if you say that that's protected, what you're doing is actually shrinking the discourse because you're telling half the people, at least, that they're not allowed to come speak or they're going to get shot. When you allow obscenity even into the public square, you are certainly undermining rational discourse. Ask anyone who's ever seen a naked lady on the internet; doesn't leave you in the most rational position. Uh, when you allow fraud, for instance, into the public square, you are totally undermining the purpose of free speech because you are undermining the truth. You're undermining the reliability of the marketplace of ideas. And so in this case, I'm not suggesting that Jimmy Kimmel should be prosecuted for his lies. I'm not suggesting he should be jailed or anything like that. But there needs to be a consequence to that. He's really undermining discourse, and he's failing to do one of the things that he is called on to do as a communicator, which is to tell the truth and paint picture a vision of reality. And in his case, he's supposed to make them laugh while he's doing it. He often fails at that.